Started reaching for my bow, saw the silhouette of his antlers as he was coming by me, and it was top pin. I didn't have to think about the distance. I figured that was a deer I'd be willing to tag out on.
Hell yeah. Hey, Kyle. Hey. You've been here for all kinds of deer this year.
Still the bestest dog around.
Best trained for sure. Not a doubt.
Sharp. Well, so it's not working.
I don't hear nothing weird.
What knife is that going? That shitty one. Is it? We should. Do you need it? No, I'm just curious. I need to get a good one. I'm tired of fucking cutlass butter knives.
I just ordered 4 of those Benchmade.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Deer Shop Podcast, presented by Siman Brothers Outdoors and the Leaky John Boat Company.
He went and watched a movie that has a $200 million production budget, and then the next thing he watched was our video on YouTube that has a $0 production budget.
This is the first buck I've shot in over 10 years.
Your track job was the first fun track job. That kind of like, I think part of my life was influenced by that night.
Then you miss him 3 times with a rifle at 70 yards on video for the whole world to see.
Yeah, that's what Caleb did. 5 years ago, we couldn't shoot a deer at 100 yards with a slug gun. Now you're shooting turkeys at 100 yards with a shotgun.
Joey takes
The shop is closing up.
Make sure he takes all his right antlers. You can't leave anything.
All right, guys. Deer Shop Podcast, episode 117. This is the Deer Shop Buck Wild podcast because holy shit, things have been going
fellas.
down. I'll cheers you with my water.
Cheers.
How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling a lot better than I was an hour ago. Man, 2025 has been off to it's in fuego.
Yeah. 2025 has been crazy. So, Caleb here, sitting down in the Deer Shop with Jay and Freeman. I guess there's a lot of stuff we got to get to. It's been a crazy, wild weekend. I just got back from West Virginia. Jay killed a buck on Halloween. Ryan killed a buck yesterday. We're going to get into those stories. We have a lot to cover with that. But first, let's get some business out of the way, and then I'll let the boys start telling their stories. Thanks to everyone who watched Bucktober Part 2 last week, which was Luke's video. Did awesome. A lot of good comments.
Are you still sore from that drag?
Dude, yes. So Jay can attest to this. Let's talk about soreness for a minute. I had to drag those two. I helped drag those 2 bucks, right? And they were incredibly heavy. The neighbor killed Judd. We talked about last week and dragged Luke's out. In between that, I was acting officer on Engine 1 at work, and we had a fire alarm in a bread factory with a silo that was 10 stories. And I had to go up and check the top floor for the alarm, wearing my gear after that. So my legs were smoked. And then on top of that, I just went to West Virginia and climbed the mountain 3 different times. So I actually had my wife rub my legs down last night. Use one of those like machine, those like ball things.
Yeah.
Like rub.
For the very first time ever, I had her do that to my legs because they were fucking smoked.
We're old.
We're so fucking. I'm fat too.
We're old.
There's that. But yeah, man, I'm still sore. I'm always sore. So Luke's video did well. I apologize if you're listening or watching this podcast. There was no Deer Camp Chronicles episode this weekend. I have a bunch of stuff in the hopper. I'm working on my Halloween deer camp trip. I'm working on this episode with all these guys' recoveries and a bunch of bow hunting stuff. So there are 2 episodes being worked on, but I just was unable to get them out for this weekend. So if you were looking for a new episode of that, I apologize. Going down the line, I got to give some shout outs. We've been talking about how there hasn't been a ton of local deer being killed. Medina County hunters went absolutely wild this weekend and this last week. There was a ton of bucks killed. A ton of bucks are getting shot in the Medina County area. So I got to give shout outs to Larry Carter, Daniel Gossman, Matt Wyatt, Steve Browning, Jeff Harris, Luke Lacey, Derek Angelo, Enos Kime, Joe James, Dylan Markowitz, Matt Esterly, Our old buddy Gene Miller killed a buck, and good old Mark Zakis once again shot the wrong deer. So I got to add another picture to the wall back here of Mark posing behind some immature small deer that he didn't mean to kill, because it's just a repeat thing with him. But
I've done it.
It's just funny. It's just incredible. It's just incredibly. Yes, Ryan, you've done it more than once. Actually, you've done it twice as well.
I have.
You have.
Not this year though.
No,
so we're good.
No. We're gonna get to that. I'll let Jay comment on that later if he wants to.
No comment.
I'm gonna run through some comments real quick on YouTube. Mark Slick Willie DiBernardo. That's his name. Mark Slick Willie DiBernardo. He commented on the C.J. Alexander poaching deer.
God, that's still getting traction.
Still getting traction. He commented on it. I gotta be honest. Who gives a fuck about a deer? If I saw a 200, I don't care if it's midnight on Christmas. I'm running it over with my truck, and I don't even have a brush guard.
Touche, dude.
Yeah, I had to midnight on Christmas.
I'm not sure I'd put these things in writing, but that's just me.
To be fair, you know what else happened on midnight on Christmas? George fucking Washington crossed the Potomac and killed a bunch of motherfuckers.
Is that the same thing as
we
Potomac?
we got our country.
Is that the same thing as the Potomac?
Yes, the Potomac.
To each his own. I guess.
Midnight on Christmas.
Okay, thanks.
Actually, can I tell a funny story real quick?
Yeah,
It's your podcast.
Listen, let me get it all out, and then I'll let you guys talk before we do more comments. It's flowing good this morning. Me and Chris are at the gas station down in Arnoldsburg getting ready to head to his cabin. We always make a stop, grab our beer at the last gas station before we get off in the middle of nowhere. And I'm sitting there, and we always also smoke some backwoods in remembrance of his grandpa. His grandpa liked to have a smoke every once in a while.
Beautiful.
We always buy a couple backwoods and smoke them. I'm looking up on the shelf, and the backwoods are at the tippy top of this shelf behind the counter. And this cashier is like 4'11", West Virginia, 130, like the skinny, kind of slightly methed out looking dude. And I'm like, hey, what kind of backwoods you got up there? And because I can't quite see the packaging, so he like gets on a stool with like tippy tops, and he pulls them out, and he's like, I got some Cogue Knock, and I'm like, cognac? He looks over at me and he goes, how'd you get cognac out of C-O-G-N-A-C? I was like, it's French, bro. Then I was like, parlez-vous français, which I don't even know what that means. And he's like looking at me like a crazy man, but he sold them to me anyways.
Great story, man.
Yeah, that's my story.
I do have something to say about the comments.
Okay.
So I'm not a comment person. I think if I'm directly involved in whatever is being commented on, I might see it.
Yeah.
I don't go out of my way to look, though. But when the comment about Isaac got shared with me, the personal attack on him, dude, I felt a rage that I haven't felt in a long time. Like, I'm not good at a lot of things in this world. Some would say hunting is one of them. Everybody would say the other one is verbal assault.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with my words. And if you want to bring out the verbal samurai in me, talk some shit on fucking line, and I will send you to a therapist. So I have, if you guys want to search the YouTube videos, I'm not going to point out the specific one, and personally attack friends of mine. I mean, you can attack me all you want. I don't give a shit.
Right.
But like, you personally attack physical features and things like that's crazy to me.
He got
that
Isaac
is
and,
crazy to me. So
got Isaac and Dylan in that.
Yeah, both. At least Dylan's was just clothes. He attacked Dylan's clothes, but like physical features, like that's crazy. Inner anger that really should be addressed, So if anybody wants to peruse the comments and see my reply to him, you might get a good laugh.
It's on the Return to Muley Mountain, it's Isaac's Western video from this year. So if you go to the Western videos playlist, it's the first one that pops up.
So just be careful if you want to go down that road. I'm gonna get involved, and I'm gonna hurt your feelings.
The only thing I'd have to say is it really worth it though?
For me, it is. Yeah.
I get it because I'm the kind of guy.
Because I have no.
I had mild.
I have no feelings to hurt. So
I had some mild comments to my kill last year, or the initial shot on him, and I responded because I couldn't help myself.
You got sucked in. Yeah.
Got sucked in a little bit,
yeah.
and it wasn't necessarily taking a shot at features.
Those are two different things to me. Someone, if you're gonna put something like a hunt out there, and something about the hunt someone has a problem with,
like shooting the leg off a deer.
Yeah, something like fucked up like that. Yeah, but like to tax someone's physical features is crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's just there's so many people out here that sit behind these things.
Oh yeah.
Their computers, and they just, it's
100%. 100%.
So, but like you, I'm the kind of guy to get sucked in a little bit, but there is a line where it's like, hey, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, because Isaac and I are putting together the Alaska video, right? And I'm like, well, we're picking out the moments that people are going to make fun of. You know, like we already have it predicted. We already know how it's going to go down. But
I mean, we put ourselves out there, like,
for sure.
Doing this,
absolutely.
Doing this is an open invite to just F with us. Yeah, Dylan's listening to everything. So Dylan, more pre-Facebook. We're having a huge deer shot party right now. There's guys in the other room butchering deer and eating breakfast and stuff, and Dylan's listening to our conversations through the door, and he just pointed at his camo because they actually did make fun of his personal appearance. They called him Pudgy.
Oh, that's right.
Pudgy.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Isaac's like bad teeth, motherfucker.
That's the camo blue Pudgy.
Camo blue Pudgy.
Dude, that's just crazy, man.
That guy is a local Utah native sitting there at his house, finding people from Ohio and just literally like beating down their physical attributes and calling them losers from behind his computer. How amazing is that?
That's wild.
It's insane to me.
It's wild.
Can I sidetrack real quick? Quick comment.
Of course.
I told you I was looking forward to getting a slash on a Sunday, and I can't do it now. Yeah. I'm gonna end with the NFL winning my Sunday weeks.
So up on the Smack Talk board over here, Ryan said that he would end up hunting more than he would watch football on the weekends this year because football was at 6 weekends, hunting was at 0, and it's gonna stay that way.
It will.
You're gonna lose 17-0, just like me, bro.
Well, it's Sundays. It's Sundays. So anyway,
it's just it's wild to me.
Thanks for hanging in there this long.
You want to just keep going with these comments because they get better.
Sure.
Dad's Habs, Incredible Camp Fellas. Do you guys sell those deer camp hats? We do, and I sent that guy a link. So go to leakyfishing.com and you can find all our stuff. Matt Colby. It's illegal to keep a deadhead in Ohio, $250 fine. Trust me, we were fined by the DNR as an outfitter. Need a permit before you pick up. I know that. It is illegal to pick up without a permit. I could show you my text message thread with the local game warden because I send him a picture of every deadhead I find, and I'm sure he gets super annoyed with me, and he sends me like 3 tags at a time. So I make sure, because we're making videos and got all this shit on display, that I send a picture of where the head is laying to the game warden every single time before I pick it up. So thanks for looking out, buddy, but I'm on top of it. Jeff Coons, turning out to be an epic year for the Siman Brothers. Just zeroed my rifle today, getting geared up for my deer season in Minnesota. I'll be in the woods November 8th.
I've exchanged some pretty cool messages with that guy.
Yeah, so good luck to you, Jeff. Thanks for listening. Southeast Ohio Hunter, let's go. Another pod. Great job, Luke. Hopefully I get as blessed as you guys did all season. Great work. Love watching.
This is so much positivity. It's great.
There is some good stuff.
Wait.
I'm glad it's not all negative. Yeah.
Bow Hunter 7456. All that hard work is paying off, boys. Keep it up. So thank you. Clay's Shooter Dad. This guy comments all the time. He watches he's been watching for years because he comments all the time. Enough with the F-bombs, guys. Not family friendly viewing. Listen,
but he can still watch.
I know. Listen, brother, we've had this conversation with you on there many times. I check a box when I upload a video that says not made for children. I have to do it. FCC rules when you put out media for the public. I check a box that says not made for children. So you're walking into a porn store complaining about boobs right now is what you're doing. We do not make our videos for kids. You got to be at least 13 years old to watch our videos and listen to our podcast. It's just the way it is. We're adults here talking about adult things. So you don't have to remind me every time we say fuck on a deer recovery.
Is what it is.
And I do understand that there are people who want to listen around their kids, but
good segue. If you a good group of guys that you probably won't hear that from is Born Again. Right?
Yes, when we've said that many times, our buddies, the Born Again bow hunters, they hang out here in the shop with us. We've become really good friends with us. They do the same stuff we do, but they pride themselves on being more family and faith oriented, and it's perfect. So if you want to listen to a podcast that's okay to be around with the kids, listen to the Born Again bow hunter guys. They're in Indiana right now. Black missed a buck. I won't go into too many details. They're seeing lots of deer. They're public land hunting out of kayaks and just having a blast. So check out the Born Again guys.
Sweet.
Jeremy Zimmerman, good job. Nice buck, Luke. What broadheads did you use? Oh, and the broadhead did a good job.
Not fixed blades.
And the broadhead did a great job too. That's the famous Jeremy who told us never to have Luke back on. He's come fully around. And now
Jeremy.
Yeah. So now he loves Luke, and he's actually trying some mechanicals. He wasn't going to buy any.
Hey, be open-minded. Try it. See if you like it.
And we're going to talk about broadheads here in a little bit, so don't worry. Jarrett Hopkins, congrats, Luke. Impressive shot through the trees. Looks like it's going to be a good year for the Siman Brothers. John Sia.
John Cena?
John Sia, Shea. Nice buck, congrats. This is not a bash on you fellas. I've seen this on a lot of videos all over YouTube. It's illegal to carry a weapon with a bunch of lights after hunting hours. I've run into game wardens over the years that would love to turn this into a ticket. Just a question for you guys. I realize it's on video. Good luck the rest of the season. Great content.
Did someone have a weapon?
Well, carrying your bow, tracking a deer at night. Headlamp on, carrying your bow, looking at a deer.
Did someone do that?
We do it every time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you're in the
never
tree,
noticed.
if you're in the tree and you have your bow, what are you supposed to do with it?
Leave it at the tree.
That's still in the woods with you.
It's not
So-
with you, but that's not with you.
As I explained to Mr. John, though, I believe as long as the bow is not knocked, just like a muzzleloader is not capped, it's not considered a weapon.
Right, that's
a loaded
fair.
weapon. So
That makes
yes,
sense.
walking through the woods with a bow, with an arrow in the bow would be a problem.
Right.
Crossbow, cocked back would be a problem. Muzzleloader with a cap in it, problem.
Right. That makes
As long
sense.
as the arrows are in the quiver, I don't think it counts.
That makes sense.
And if even if it did, it'd be hard for me to say you're going to give tickets to people just carrying their bow looking for their deer. You know, that's.
Depends on the game warden, I'm sure.
But good looking out. I appreciate that. I promise you guys, I'm done. It's time. We're going to start with Jay. Uncle
Start
Jay,
with me? Okay.
Unimpressive
Got to
year.
start with the Halloween.
People have been asking us about your moose a lot. We're not going to cover that today, but I would like for you to at least say something about that so the listeners can hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
Well, I think what I can say about Alaska is Alaska is the reason that I decided to whitetail hunt this year. So, when you're somewhere like that alone, you end up thinking a lot. I mean, it's really all you have to do. And I haven't really put any effort into Ohio hunting in over a decade.
Yeah.
And
You show up here with your muzzleloader every once in a while.
to put some meat in the
Shoot
freezer
smoke.
and miss
Shoot smoke.
miss some does. But I do have access to a property, and that property is very special to me. There's a lot of things behind it. I just haven't.
Well, the way you worded it last night to me, you were like, it would be a disservice for me to not hunt it.
And that's exactly what I was going to get to with the kind of the realization in Alaska that I'm like, gosh, I think I'm doing it a disservice not doing this. It's where I cut my teeth. It's something I used to really enjoy. I came back from Alaska and just sitting with you guys and having these great conversations. I was like, you know what? I actually had scheduled vacation, and I said, fuck it. Let's see what happens. And
dude, F word.
sorry. And I bought a couple cell cams, and the property's not big enough to pattern anything off of cell cams. It's inventory. It's seeing what's out there. And I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It's the first experience I've ever had with them. It was kind of exciting to get the alert on your phone and see what's there. You know, it was fun. And I really enjoy the fact that it keeps you out of the woods. Like, you don't have to go old school and change cards and all that. But yeah, I got a picture of a good buck, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, I think I would shoot that deer. He was clearly mature. And again, I've said it, I'd probably make a drinking game out of how many times I say topography, but I'm a topography hunter, and you know, this property, along with all the other properties that adjoin, is pretty flat, open hardwoods. There's not topography.
Yeah, there's not a lot of sway in that area.
But there are features within that make topography. So what I mean by that is you can find a big down tree and the deer are going to go around it. Well, how do you make that work for you? Inside corners of a field edge, a pond. They're not going to go through the pond. They're going to go around it. Things like that. So that's kind of how I planned my first sit with the wind. And I'm very confident when I go into the woods that I was thinking about how to word this. I'm very confident in where I'm sitting, in the sense that if a deer, a mature buck is going to use that area, he's going to come where I am. So my confidence is a lot less that I'm in the right spot. I know I'm in the right spot. Is the deer going to come through here? But if he does, he's coming through within shooting range. If that makes any sense. Am I making sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you mean you didn't?
You're
put a
very
corn,
con-
you didn't put a corn mountain down?
Yeah, no, I don't bait. I use this crazy shit called woodsmanship. And I've just been doing this a long time. I know deer behavior. I know, and ultimately, the one thing that doesn't change is topography. Deer will use, and mature bucks will use topography with the wind in only a certain way. So if that deer is going to come through, I will be there. If that makes sense. Yeah. It's never a question of, am I in the right spot? I know I'm in the right spot. Is the deer going to come through the right spot is the question. And he did. I had a young doe and her fawn feeding underneath me. Young buck come in, harass them a little bit, very light harassment. Let me back up. I did open the morning, and I'm a big fan of doing this. Just when it's barely light enough for you, I like to give a light grunt sequence.
Okay.
I feel like it does a couple things. You probably have no idea how many deer are near you. It kind of calms things down. And I'm talking light grunt sequence. And I think between the topography and that is what brought him in. I think he was like probably within earshot of that, because within the hour, those three were underneath me, and then he came in to check all that out. Ran them off, gave me a nice 25-yard shot. That was a wrap.
You were using a climbing stand, right?
Yep.
Old school.
Yeah, it's a climber that I leave there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a climber that I leave there. Sometimes, depending on the wind, I may move in the moment. There's, if you know Ohio hardwoods, there's a lot of climber-friendly trees.
Especially if it's unlogged property.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but I've had that in the same spot for the same reason. With the deer move through there for the same reason.
And for the record, this was 154-inch 8-point.
Yeah, 154-inch 8-point. Isaac and I threw tape on it, measured pretty conservatively. So I think when you're getting up to the 150s as an 8, it's a pretty good buck.
Yeah, that's the magic. So a 158 is like the magic number. It takes an incredible amount of stuff for an 8 to actually break 150. We have a couple big ones, like Luke's from a couple days ago that we killed, or a couple years ago, 147 or 146 and change. Like, it just didn't quite have enough to get over that 150 mark. But I mean,
well, he was a 9.
Well,
mainframe,
tiny little
mainframe, but
I almost thought you were joking with me, because I was down in West Virginia this weekend with Chris. Service at the cabin, service at the top, but I was hunting in between that a lot and just not have a phone in hand a lot. And I got the picture sometime throughout the day. I ended up getting the picture on my phone of a guy, and you were all bundled up and you shaved your mustache.
Yeah.
So some guy, some like average looking dude in
you.
camo behind this giant 8-point. Yeah.
it was the hat. That
I'm like, look, you had a face mask up against your chin and a hat.
Well, no. I was wearing Predator camo before it was cool, before Hunter tried to make it cool.
They are obsessed with it.
It's a great cam. Listen, man, I'm glad it's kind of getting out there. I have been wearing Predator camo for, let's see, I've been living back in Ohio for over 15 years. So over that. Is probably when they first started coming out. The pattern to me is the pattern. I think it's fantastic.
It's cool old school camo.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, I really think it, and I really think when it comes to camo, it does the purpose.
Yeah.
It does break. It's just a big blocky breakup. I think it's great. And
the style hat, though.
So that's my lucky hat.
Okay. That's what I'm saying.
It's like an old wool Predator camo.
Big build.
Big brim. Yeah, it's just a big, nice, warm hat. That is my lucky hat.
So at first I was paying no attention to, I'm like, oh, someone, I don't recognize the buck, so fuck it. And when I had time to sit down, I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute. And I was reading the comments in the, I'm like, wait a minute, wait. Jay killed it. That's a giant. Like, I didn't even know, like, I knew you and Ethan went and hung a tree stand like the day before, but I was like, that's wow. And then obviously we ended up getting all the details and just incredible.
Let me back up a little bit too. This is my first sit.
Yeah. Like there's something about first sits this year.
And it's not, I don't think it's this year. I think, I think we ended up shooting the shit about this last night. Almost all my big deer first sit. There's something to be said about the first time you move a stand.
Yeah.
And at case in point here, first sit. Like there is that surprise element that deer has no idea you were there.
Right.
And that's a big element that I think people overlook. First sits are a big deal. Real big deal.
What broadhead were you using?
Iron Will.
Okay.
Iron Will
fixed blade.
Yep.
Hey, Jeremy, fixed blade guy. He's our resident fixed blade guy.
Jeremy, hit me up.
We got fixed blade guys, crossbow guys, corn baiting guys, traditional guys that are just winging it. We got a little bit of everything. I want to touch on something you said. And I can't remember the exact context you used, but it's November. If the deer is going to, if the buck is going to come through, it's not a question of is he going to, it's a question of when and if you're going to be there. Mm-hmm. That's what I've been telling Isaac and Ethan right now, because they're the two brothers that aren't tagged out. I wouldn't say that they're struggling because, well, Ethan's struggling because he's just hunting a ghost, but Isaac's seeing deer and seeing mature deer, but not ones he wants to shoot right now. He's been filming some good bucks and just having these encounters, but they're not deer that he's willing to shoot. 3 and 4 year olds, and they're just on the smaller antler size. You can criticize us for that if you want, but he's kind of feeling the pressure, and I keep telling him, like, the cell cams are showing that the bucks you want to kill are around. The one is specifically using our food plot every couple days. So it's not about will he come in this area during daylight. You just have to roll the dice and be there at the right time. It's November now. He's going to be on a doe. He's going to get off a doe, go check another doe. The spots that we know he's been in daylight, he's going to be there eventually. You just have to be there. Don't hunt the cameras. You can't hunt the cameras right now because if he's on camera, it's too late. It's November.
Agreed.
If he walks by at 9 a.m., it's done. He's
the only
gone.
thing. Again, I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but like the only thing that doesn't change is topography.
Yeah.
And even if a doe comes through there, it can only follow the topography. So if he's on the doe, he will follow the doe through that specific way. Now, look, I get it. There's always variables. There's always those, it just, we see him in someone's front yard.
Yeah.
That like, you're always going to have that. But as far as the more times than not, setting yourself up for success, I think that is what works for me.
So where you, back in the day when you first started bow hunting with us when we were younger guys, you hunted that back ridge and killed a bunch of does, killed a couple does, and then where you saw Freak Daddy the day you were hunting with Ryan on that ridge, it's just across from it, and there's that bottom in between. Mm-hmm. All the mature bucks on the farm have come through that bottom in daylight or close to daylight this year already in summertime and early fall. And I keep telling Isaac he's not enjoying the hunting of it because he's going down there. Some does are winning him at times, and he's just not seeing a lot of deer. But I keep telling him that those mature bucks, those 3 mature bucks, are going to cross from top to top through that bottom in daylight sometime in the next 10 days, if not multiple times. They are going to. You can't get to the other ridge or this ridge or that ridge without going through that bottom. Mm-hmm. All the points come together there. He's not really enjoying the situation, but I do think that is where it's going to happen. So let's kind of mark that for if Isaac does end up killing a good buck, one of those bucks on the farm, I believe it's going to be in and around that area. Mm-hmm. That's just what I feel. Because otherwise he's hunting open alfalfa fields or small little draws and thickets. And that's just, it could have happened there. Of course, if he gets all the way to gun season, that's probably where it will happen. But if he's going to kill this bow in the next week or two, he's got to be in and around that hub. We've talked about it on the podcast a lot. I do think Isaac needs to just stick with his guns and hunt just like you did. It's going to be.
A lot of it has to do with confidence. If you're not, because the confidence comes with enjoyment.
Yeah.
Right. So like if I'm confident, I'm going to enjoy it because I'm just waiting. Yeah. I'm just waiting. If you haven't bought into the system, You're probably going to be doubting it. You're going to have FOMO. Fuck, I should have been over at the west side or whatever.
So, question for you, just because I'm thinking about what I might say about the deer I shot. So this deer came in, like you said, you put a soft grunt out. You had some light harassment from the younger deer. Was it quick from the time that he came in to you shooting him? Did he mosey around a little bit? Did a window open, or was it? You know what I'm saying? Just
it was probably So it was probably a total of 15 minutes from the time I saw him till the time I shot him. He moseyed in, just like you're saying. There was no heightened rut action. It seemed like it was the second week of October.
So that was about 14 minutes and 50 seconds more than my situation.
Yeah, I would call 15 minutes a long time.
It felt like a long time. It felt it had because
which is awesome.
And he came from my left, and I'm right-handed, so my lanes are to my right. So I kind of had to do the tree stand shuffle as he came around, which is what I wanted him to do. And it worked out because the young buck nudged the does, he nudged the young buck, and they were all following the general direction. And then, he finally made it. It was very casual. They would nudge, eat, nudge, nibble.
What were they nibbling on and eating?
Hickory nuts.
So that's what Luke's was eating.
Yeah, hickory nuts.
It's so weird because you can read on any magazine or book or, all these, the mobile hunter people on Facebook and all their different groups talking about, like, I need to find a chintapin oak with the black leaves and on the downward side of a hub rub, all that bullshit. And these deer are just eating hickory nuts this year. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I just I don't drag deer. I butcher them out in the field and pack them out. I wash my.
So you're not sore like we are.
I'm still a little sore.
So
They were pretty. He was a pretty heavy dude, but. I just washed my game bags and I found a bunch of hickory nut shells in my fucking laundry. So
it's just like this. This is the year of the hickory nut and the fat buck. What do you think he weighed?
He was not big. Okay. Probably I'd be surprised if he went 200 pounds.
So he was more like my deer.
He was like he wasn't slender.
Yeah.
He had the big shoulder and neck, and then real narrow hindquarters.
Compact.
Yeah, I mean, he looked very bullish without the size, but shape. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, I dragged him around like he was a big doe.
Yeah.
I was able to just kind of throw him around. Now, that being said, my idea of size is a little different now that I've killed a moose. Yeah. So,
yeah, right. It wasn't nearly as big as that fucking couch.
Yeah, it was. It might be a little. My idea of what is big is
Whoa,
now
you killed
skewed.
A moose?
Story has it. Yeah.
That's funny.
So, yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, man. And we'll see where we go from here, but. Off to Zorn I go tomorrow. I'm going to get him mounted. Try to think of something cool. It's a great story. A lot of emotion behind it, and yeah.
Did you have a moment in the woods?
Sure did, man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And honestly, I was telling you this in my pack, my camera, my GoPro, my camera arm. And I was ready to give it a try, and once I got up there, I'm like, "Fuck that, dude!"
I was gonna segue to Ryan's with that because the audience is gonna ask, "When did we get to see it?" You don't, because both of them weren't filmed, guys.
Nah.
Just what's the word? Temper the expectations just a little. There's gonna be footage. You will see the deer. You'll see it here in the shop, both of them. But just unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately. Just it didn't work out filming wise. And we'll get into Ryan's story about that here in just one second. But I want to say, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm more of I'm a very sentimental person, and I don't know if you want to call the word emotional and get excited and stuff, but I don't know what it was, but towards the end of last year, and the way that our group as a whole, just all our friends, Dylan, Nick, Kasich, all you guys, my brothers, I feel like the way we ended deer season last year, even though Luke killed that nice buck late season and there was some deer killed during bow season stuff and gun, it just didn't feel good in a certain way. It felt good, but there was something about it where guys weren't exactly happy with maybe what they had killed. There'd been some tempers flaring here and there about, expectations and what we want to get done, and maybe too much emphasis on you guys trying to tell stories and filming, and too much emphasis on wanting to get a podcast. And I don't know, last year just didn't end great. Fast forward to this year, it's the craziest thing. Jay is now back in the woods hunting in Ohio, which makes my heart just feel full. And like when you were against Ohio hunting and just salty about it, it kind of took away from the things we were doing just a little bit. Because you'd come over and enjoy it with us, but like it's almost like you were
wet blanket.
Yeah, like you you were there to enjoy the moment, but at the same time you're like, fuck that. What the fuck are you guys doing? Like,
well, it was personal for me because I am older than all you guys, and I grew up hunting in Medina County, and it's changed so much for the worse. And it's hard for me. And I think if you talk to a lot of older guys, my parents would say the same thing about, what I mean? So it's that generational, seeing everything go down the drain, so to speak. I mean, when I first started hunting here, as a young teenager, it was nothing to looking back on it, nothing to see 50s and 60s running around every season, every property.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore. You are really, really fortunate if you can get anything like that these days.
Well, I think private land hunting, we see it because we hunt here, live here. I think it's hurting probably everywhere. With the same kind of I guess topography I'll use as a word, like we might have in Medina County, and population size. We have quite a bit of people that live here.
Yeah.
Well, the farm, go back to my dad's era, which was the era before yours. They got their guns out on Monday, and they walked the entire county, the entire township, and they were allowed. Every farm was big, and it was open to the guys being able to hunt, and it was a different ball game. And then basically towards the end of when he stopped hunting and where you started picking up, they started selling off the family farms, putting in the developments, and then fast forward to now, and we're urban hunting. We're hunting close to houses, even though we're not in the city, because it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But you picking up the camera and doing the Alaska moose thing and having that success, and then moving on to just enjoying hunting in the woods again and hunting in Ohio, the deer shop crew, our crew as a whole, outside of maybe one person because he had a situation, or a couple guys, but everything's been so successful, and we've been having these huge gatherings here at the deer shop. We've been killing a shit ton of bucks. The bucks are just getting mowed down right now. Everyone's upbeat. Everyone's happy. We had 10 people here to eat breakfast on a Sunday morning that we didn't set up till last night at 10 p.m.
Yeah. There was this thing in the air after you killed yours when we were all hanging out that I just felt like this was going to be just an awesome year.
And it hasn't slowed down at all.
No. And the intangibles are cooperating. You couldn't ask for better weather.
No,
these next 10 days. I mean, you couldn't ask for better weather.
It's good for hunting, but it's still, I know you guys were a little bit cold because your blood's thin because you guys got drunked up last night and I didn't, but it's comfortable in here, but it's still cool enough to hunt. We got deer hanging. I don't know. The deer shop just feels so much better right now this year than it did last year at this time, if that makes any sense. And maybe it's because I'm sitting here with $2. You're sitting here with a buck. You got a moose and a buck. Like, it's nice for us to say, but
it's easy, to say for me to comment on that, but I felt great about this year. I mean, obviously you start seeing your friends do what, you're set out to do. Your situation from an hour into opening day to, I don't know who was next, Kasich to
Luke,
and him before that, Luke and me now and him again and everything that's going on so far. I was, you're always in that state. Last night, Isaac and Ethan helped me with the recovery and I'm so jealous. Well, I was jealous of you guys.
Right.
Now I'm not jealous anymore. The next guy ain't going to be jealous either. There's going to be more deer killed in here. It doesn't really matter about the situation. People are hunting, bucks are getting killed, and it just feels good. It feels like a really good year. It does have a different feel to it.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about last year. Maybe we were,
we had kids and realized we were old and
that was probably part of it. And also, I think last year there for some reason I don't know what it is, and we can chalk this up to just human nature. Last year had a weird pressure to it, like. Almost like me personally and a lot of the guys and with the podcast and the videos and everything that we were doing, I don't know. We felt like maybe there was a weird pressure to succeed. And this year, whether it started with just our Kentucky trip being so good and Jay's moose trip being so good early, all the weight can't kind of lift it off our shoulders. And then guess what? Bucks are just hitting the ground. Guys are having good hunts. We got mature bucks and good deer showing up on all the cameras and all the places that we're hunting. It's just not a negative type year. It's a positive year, and it feels good. And I enjoy, the thing I enjoy the most out of all this stuff is just the fact that the guys and the kids and the wives and the families have been able to just get together, no pressure, in here in the deer shop this year 4 or 5 times already, enjoy a couple beverages, deer hanging, watch sports on TV. It feels like it's almost too good. And, and I know things like this won't last forever. Kids are going to get older. We're all going to get busier. The deer shop's never going to go away, but will it ever be as good as it is humming right now? It's hard. It probably won't be. Like, you don't know the best moments when you're in them. And the truth is, I think we're in them right now. I'm watching the old dog sleep on the couch, 140-inch buck through the window. Like, we're sitting here drinking beers and podcasting.
Life is good.
Morning. Like,
life is
it really doesn't get much better than that.
We're pretty fortunate folks, man.
Yeah.
We really are.
Well, it also comes down to just the love of doing it. That's why we do everything we do, and that's part of it is you got to love what you're doing in the woods. You got to have that, whatever fulfills it, whether it's a doe, a 4-point, a mature deer, whatever you're doing, you got to enjoy it. This can't just be about publicity.
Yeah, no, it's a huge bummer when you see there's this. It really bums me out because it's probably the most commonly said phrase on social media when it comes to posting an animal. It's not the biggest butt.
Yeah.
It's not huge butt.
Yeah.
And that really is upsetting. Hey, man, you shouldn't have to lead with that. Unless it's the world record, there's another one bigger. So enjoy it. Don't apologize for it. Don't make excuses for it. You chose to take an animal's life and, hold it with the utmost reverence and respect. And I think people will follow suit. But that whole, it's not the biggest butt, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, unfortunately, everyone wants to be the best at everything. And we just talked about
what does that mean?
It's just,
does that mean killing the world record once with a cigarette out of your mouth and a crossbow over a corn pile? Does that make you the best?
Right.
It's all subjective.
And we're having, and like we just talked about, we're having maybe our most enjoyable season ever. And there's just been no pressure on it. And, it's flowing unbelievably well. And it's probably because we stopped over time. We have stopped caring so much about all the other things and just got down to what we enjoy. And now everyone's enjoying it. And it's a perfect segue to get into Ryan's buck from last night.
Last night was pretty cool.
Last night was awesome.
Last night was cool. I guess I'll just start with a new permission piece. And I can't obviously name drop, but I have to, again, say the hospitality from this landowner has been next level. It's almost too much. And it's the coolest thing that I've ever experienced hunting, personally.
And
because
rare.
He does not owe anything to me. I did kind of know him and his wife a long time ago. Barely. So I just have to say that to get that out of the way. But this permission piece, you look at it from, whether I drive by it locally or you look at it from an aerial view, you don't know until you get there how you're going to hunt it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Obviously you look at prevailing winds and things like that. And I kind of rushed it, which would have been Friday after work. I got off a little early and I had enough time to get in there, hang a bang, and hunt it. And I kind of rushed it. I'm like, it's a lot of thicket, bedding, marshy. You can't go in where they're living, Right,
yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to hunt the outskirts of this. And I kind of rushed my stand. I had a doe or a couple does on Friday evening. Didn't have much expectation.
What's your stand hanging technique? Like, what do you do?
So it's a fixed stand. So it's climbing sticks and a hang on.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
For preference, I say hang and bang, but
he's not drilling bolts in a tree like someone I know that just
It's not a mobile.
Insane.
It's not a mobile set. It is a fixed set for.
Mine's both.
Someday we'll talk about Jay's stand setup situation. It's the strangest fucking thing you've ever heard.
How dare you.
We'll
get into that.
I look forward to hearing that. I didn't know he had weird. I'm sure it's Jay. So it makes sense.
It's just not to interrupt. Jeez.
So, getting on this property though, and taking a little bit of a loop around, I was like, the deer sign was immense, about as crazy as I've ever seen. And so I was encouraged by what I saw. Obviously, first sit is what it is. I saw a couple does, whatever. So I'm like, I'm going to go back in the morning, had a good win, sat it, saw 2 immature deer, very small bucks. And I just had this feeling. I was like, I'm going to get down. I'm going to go north, and I'm going to peek around. I'm like, I got to move my stand. Went to brunch with my buddy Timmy, local guy here on our fire department. I'm like, and then I got all fat and full, and I go, man, am I going to be lazy? Am I going to move this thing or not? I go, I got to do it. The time is now. You have to capitalize on right now.
Fat and full is my jam, dude.
So I drove back to the property, made the homeowner aware. I'm just, again, open communication with everything I'm doing. Again, it's a new spot. And I went in, pulled it, went about 300 yards north, hung it. And it wasn't like it was stealthy. There was a lot that went into this. I had to, saw off some branches, cut some shooting lanes, cut down some vines, even make my entry way a little bit easier for if I were to be entering in the morning or your exit in the evening. And I went back to the truck. I'm covered in sweat. It got a little bit warm yesterday afternoon. Took my shirts off. I had no changes of clothes, so I'm drying them out in the sun. I'm charging my phone. I'm listening to the Buckeyes, and I'm like,
You're in this dude's yard?
I'm not in his yard. It's around the corner. I have a totally different entry to his property.
You're just hanging out.
No.
Making a hobo camp in this guy's driveway.
And so
Hung my clothes on his clothesline.
Jerked off real quick, drank a couple beers.
Whoa. Escalated
had a
quickly.
good time. Yeah. So I start getting ready. It's time to get in the woods, And you had texted me, you're like, hey, are you out there? And I'm like, well, I just grabbed some food, moving the stand, gonna get after it. The neighbor or neighboring property, there's not actually a house there, and I didn't realize this guy lived across the street. He's driving his tractor as I grab my bow off the tailgate and shut it and lock my truck to walk back into the woods, and he's got a deer carcass in it. And I go, and I don't know this guy from anybody, I don't know him. And he stops to talk to me. He's, hey, you going hunting? I said, yeah, I'm going to go out, give it hell, we'll see. And he goes, hey, good luck. I go, well, what went on here? And he goes, 163-inch 10-point. Like, whew. So that's within 9 days. I hung 2 stands on 2 permission pieces. Within a day or two prior or after me hanging that stand, within 200 yards, 172-inch and 163-inch deer were killed. It's the time of year. But it was ironic.
Also the right spots.
And the right spots. And I'm like, man, that's and I texted Ethan, I'm like, that's pretty wild, It's ironic. But didn't deter me from, hey, then something else is gonna move in. So I go get in the stand, quickly have activity. I've got handful of young bucks running this bottom, handful of does running this bottom. I did a light grunt sequence and a light rattle. About 20.
So when you light grunt, and this is actually a question for both of you. I'm sitting here, gears are spinning. I'm putting myself in your guys' shoes. Are you like brop, brop, brop? Or are you like brrr,
I'm
brrr? Like what kind of grunting are you?
I'm doing more of a quick, short rap, 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 rap.
Okay,
I'm not
like
the sound they make when they're like jogging through the woods, kind of.
That's in my opinion. That's what I was preferring as a light, not a audibly light.
I do a little bit more of like trying to do a mature.
Okay.
Because
sort of like a roar,
not a roar, but like I have heard every type of grunt under the sun, and to the point where I've heard probably a 10-second long guttural, weirdest, disturbing grunt you've ever heard in your life, to where I'm like, oh, there's really not a wrong way.
Yeah, how can you mess that up, right?
But like
turkey call.
But there are very distinct patterns. So like there's the tending grunt, right? Like that's very
Nonstop.
distinct. Yeah.
Best sound ever. Actually.
Yeah. I mean, you know he's on a doe.
Right.
Then there's that like seeking one where they're occasional. I just kind of do a light. I do kind of a 1 or 2 second very deep guttural because I have a friend of mine makes custom grunters.
We got one around
You
here.
have one.
Isaac has it in his pack.
It's a very deep grunt, and I like doing that one. I do it 2 or 3 second long ones, about 10 seconds apart, and done. You know.
That satisfies my question.
Okay, I'm glad you get.
Some people just pull out their extinguisher and go, "Bop."
You know, I guess my thing too is like it was again there was a ton of intrusion in me coming in here, but it's a time of year, and then the deer activity was, and I'm like, hey, you know, they're moving. I think I might get something up and draw something in, you know, and just make. I did it early, and this was probably, I'd say, an hour after that I shot. It wasn't like this was effective. I'm just giving the context of what I did. In between me shooting and me throwing out a call, about 30 minutes in between, I heard 2 bucks fighting.
Okay.
And
Like drop dead,
like
drag out.
yes, and like I couldn't. I would say if I had to guess between
It wasn't a guy rattling.
no 100%. It was on the property I was hunting.
Okay.
It was. I'm set up pretty far east on this property. It was to the west down the bottom. I don't know if it was 80 yards, 100 yards, 150 yards. That context, I'm not sure, but
Would you guys agree, like after hearing that, would you agree that when you hear a real one, you're not doing it any justice trying to do one in this tree stand?
The thing I always think about is the leaves. It's so loud with sticks
It's
breaking.
so-
They're hitting trees. The leaves are shuffling,
The-
like
the-
falling down a hill.
The analogy I made, to me, it sounds like having a sword fight with baseball bats with Major League Baseball players.
Right.
That are just, they're swinging, and it is so crazy loud.
it was so loud, and I could just tell it wasn't small deer.
Yeah.
You know, there's too much audible noise. It was too aggressive. Like you can't. I just
Can't
don't.
mimic
I don't.
that.
I
A
don't
human
think,
can't do that with this.
Yeah, and I don't think.
Yeah, I agree.
Smaller deer could. So I'm like, I'm on 10.
Yeah.
I'm like what? And I'm looking everything that's set up for me. I'm on a double stem tree. Everything's to my left. I mean, I can technically shoot right, but I'm not focused on it. Everything's left. And I actually saw a doe in this time frame, and she was looking towards me. She didn't see me by any means.
Sorry to interrupt, but I heard Nick use this reference last night. When you guys use the term stem, what do you mean by that? I've never heard that before.
Well, I guess in this instance, like if you had a single stem tree, it's just a tree that goes straight, one tree. This instance, I have a split.
Yeah.
Got it.
Double
Split
tree,
Okay.
single stem.
Okay. Now I got it. Like in my head, I was like thinking it was a topographical feature that that has a different name.
And I might be. I call it a double stem. Maybe it's a double tree. Whatever you
No,
want to
Nick
call
was
it.
using it the same way, and I'm like,
This is I'm set up in between 2 trees.
okay, got it.
We have learned to just absolutely despise single stem setups. Like for your climber, you have to, and technically no, you don't technically have to either climber. You can have other trees close by, but when you're doing what we're doing, which a lot of times is filming and maybe even 2 guys, the single stem tree stand off both sides. I mean, you're up there like a lamppost.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, so when you can get in a multiple stem tree and
got
all
it.
that, like
Yeah.
like a maple that's had a chance to crown out at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That's what me and Nick's setup is in right now. It branches off 5 different ways, 2 feet off the ground, and it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get away with murder in them, but
Yeah. So that's the reference
Gotcha.
on that.
Thanks.
So I'm hearing these deer fighting. Like I said, I'm looking at a doe. She's looking towards me, and I know this isn't happening in between me and her. Now, and she might just been, just looking my way, whatever. About 30 minutes goes by until this deer starts creeping. And I just hear, and I just start, putting my hand towards my bow, look over. I can kind of see the silhouette of his antlers, so I grab my bow, pick it up off the hanger. He comes in. I mean, it's fucking quick. He's moving. I'm like, okay. I saw his G4 on his left side, which I was able to reference the antlers because I didn't want to make a mistake and shoot something I probably wasn't
Didn't
be
want
satisfied
to
with.
want to Mark Zackus it.
So I drew on him. I tried to stop him, and he didn't stop. I mean, it was 20 yards, and I had 2 feet left of my window, so I released. And I don't know if it was rushing it or him still continuing to take a step. I did hit slightly back, but I ended up destroying his liver, hitting lung, and tearing his diaphragm apart.
Okay.
And so I shot. He ran off.
Mechanicals.
Mechanical.
Which one?
Schwacker.
Yeah, there we go.
That's Luke's, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I
we-
use.
we,
as well.
I've heard good things.
I'm 2 for 2. I've shot 2 deer. They've won a total of 60 yards, and only 1 deer ran 60 yards. So,
I'm right there with you.
yeah, I dropped the doe and killed him. So he ran off, and I actually pulled my phone out and started recording him running off.
Okay.
And you can't see much. I'll give it to you to show you. And he starts running off, and he's kind of standing there, and then the tail goes up and starts. I'm like, okay.
The tail went up.
Tail went up and started.
Tail going up. Okay. That's a little like I would be like the old school lingo is tail up bad, tail down good. You know, like I would be a little that would have worried me a little bit because like Luke's deer, the tail was down, quivering down, like tucked. And that's like, oh, my belly hurts like bad,
Well, the last 2 deer that obviously last year wasn't.
Jay might have a different take on
last year wasn't the cleanest kill, but the last 2 deer that I've killed, so 2022 or 2022, 2025, I killed them, watched them die within eyesight, and their tails went up and fluttered both times. So I don't know. That's in my history. I thought that was.
But it seemed to work.
It went up, and then I was watching
Quivering's
him,
good either way.
and he crashed. And then his head was still up for a moment, and I was watching him, but he's kind of in some cattails. And then I kind of lost his antlers, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to watch for some movement. I was figuring liver. Started texting the boys. Ironically, I got to give my wife a little bit of I'm going to dog on her for a quick second. So,
dog on her.
just a little bit because, she fucks with me. So the night before, I made a joke about where I'm going to put my next deer on the wall.
Okay.
And we started arguing about it. She goes, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And
Thinking she has nothing to worry about.
She stepped out the door and fell in the mud real quick.
Kind of snarled at me. And so I actually, in the group chat, I did the red alert. Spanny was waiting for a picture. No, and
usually red alert means like, oh my God, I got a monster on trail camera. So everyone's like, ooh, what's Spanny got going?
I don't know.
Maybe the big one's back.
Maybe I didn't know what to expect. So then I said, an arrow was released. Obviously, we started going through those.
Yeah.
The banter back and forth, and Dylan's like, well, and I'm like, well, I did watch him crash. He's like, well, you didn't say that.
Right.
So I felt pretty good. I texted Gina and said, so remember when you said we'll cross that bridge when we get there? And she goes, oh,
we
shit.
crossed the bridge.
So I ended up observing where I saw him crash, got down, checked the arrow, felt really good about it. Just preventatively, again, this is not at night. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening, which would give us about an hour still.
It was early.
Because daylight savings happened this morning.
Yeah.
So
it's already getting dark outside now.
I knocked an arrow, approached him. I saw the blood, and I followed his trail that I watched him go, and I knew he was going to be dead, and I kind of put down. I wasn't as cautious and walked up to him, and I thought it was the biggest deer I'd ever killed. Personally, actually, everyone last night thought it was gonna.
Everyone thought that about
tape out
7 card too. But
yeah, everyone thought it was gonna tape a little more. I mean, I don't personally give a shit, but it felt really good. Unfortunately, I didn't have the camera set up with me. It was a lot. I mean, it was a day before hanging a stand, hunting it, hanging a stand, hunting it, just to have the gear with me. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, I could have brought it. And it would have been cool to have, but it just felt really good. Felt really, really good.
No one's happier than the wives when these deer get killed. Like, no one is happy.
For so many reasons.
Because we're just miserable fucking bastards when we're especially when the season just keeps dragging.
Well, I was trying last year. I kind of want a redemption picture because with my daughter last year, the picture of her and me with my buck.
She's screaming, right?
She's crying. She's got this scream face. I was like, I kind of wanted a redemption picture. And
where
it's a little bit farther away than I usually would hunt. and I had to come back here, and Ethan and Isaac had to have their fat ass fucking dinner before we went and got.
Man, that
deer.
is really bothering you that they ate dinner before they went.
I mean, but they took.
You complained this. You sat down there in the shop this morning and said, "I feel like death because I didn't eat anything yesterday and I'm dying." And then you're complaining that they ate something.
They had to please their women. They had their little family dinner.
There it is.
There we go. So it took some time. So I wasn't able to go to the house with the deer and get the baby up, and it's not that important. But I called Gina to see the status of Parker.
Yeah.
And she
At least did she pick up?
She did.
Because mine didn't when I shot my bug.
I'm
six
so
phone
happy that Parker's going to have her dad this fall. You get that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So, it ended up weighing the biggest that we've ever weighed.
Last week's podcast was all about the heaviest deer ever weighed in the deer shop, and it just got broke. The record's been broke 3 times this year.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
and they're all been within a pound of each other, right?
258, 261, 263.
So, heaviest deer that we've ever weighed here. Now that's obviously with guts.
When we've only weighed, that's the problem is we have not weighed every deer. We've only recently started weighing them. There was some deer that I would have.
I'm gonna take it.
No, yeah,
I'm gonna take it.
You have the crown.
I got it.
You have the crown. It is yours.
And he ended up taping 136 and 2/8, I believe, was the final score.
Hell of a
but
deer.
if you look up there, I'm starting to give AAA some problems. He's got to kill about a 160 to get me.
Yeah, I mean, you came into the season with a 13-inch buffer on the 5-year bet.
Okay, so 150 will do
and
it.
now,
which is
what
doable.
is the and it's a bet between you and your
we
brother,
never had stakes on it. I talked shit on a podcast with him and just said, hey, 5 years. Let's
collectively inches.
The most inches over the next 5 years.
All right.
We put no stakes on it.
Oh,
so now we should put higher stakes.
Yeah, well, because it's close enough. But I mean, you got to put stakes.
And there's 2 years left after because we're in year 3 of this.
This is year 3. We've got 2 more.
Yeah,
except we're gonna have to rewrite those because it looks like we're already in 26.
Well, in 23, he was actually.
Why even put the doe on there?
Well, this is what they've killed. So in 23, Alex killed a doe. You killed your pool in a doe. Pictures on the wall.
Yeah, how many inches of the pool?
In 24, he killed a 125-inch buck, and you shot the front leg off of 2 bucks, but ended up killing a 138 and 4/8 and a doe. And then he hasn't killed anything yet this year, and you have the doe.
The doe is this year.
The doe is this year, and plus your 136. Yeah. So yeah, you've killed back-to-back 138.
We've got a brother bet that's lasting 5 years with no repercussions for either one of us. It was something that shit talked. Caleb put it in the corner. And we're still doing it.
Somehow it happened on video after someone's buck party. You guys are sitting here talking about it.
It was on a podcast.
No, because you guys shook hands on it as you were sitting here drinking. Like 5 years, me and my crossbow, you and your bow. There's a video of the whole bet somewhere. Somewhere in the analogs of the time.
I'm sure we weren't drinking when we
No way. No chance.
I was sad because about one thing. Well, 2 things. I guess there's bittersweetness when it's done. Obviously, I don't have the Montana. I don't have the Alaska. Not that I, couldn't do it. Obviously, it just what's
choices.
Secondly, Caleb was busy, and I understand why he didn't come over last night. But it's always fun to.
It wasn't that
shoot deer and you be around.
I know, and it was one of those things. I've been gone for 3 days in West Virginia at Camp Gore. I got back here while you guys were tracking it at like 8 o'clock, 7:45, 8 o'clock. Got my truck, got my stuff, went home to see my daughter before she went to bed. And then my wife was leaving. My wife is currently gone. My wife was leaving for Tennessee at 6 a.m. So I had a window of time to spend with my wife, and it was already like 9, 10 o'clock by the time you guys got the deer back here, 10 something. And I was it wasn't happening, me coming back over last night. I knew we were doing breakfast and having the shop party and doing the podcast this morning. So it's not like I wasn't totally present for it, but I do appreciate you being understanding that it just didn't work.
For sure.
Last night was just bad timing for that. But
so
it seems like everyone else was here.
There was quite a bit of people here. It was kind of funny last night because after, we got it weighed, went and gutted it, came back, hung it, tagged it. I'm like, okay, washed up, changed my shirt. I come in, I was kind of like delirious. Jay's like, are you fucking okay? I'm like asking weird questions. I'm like, is he, where's? So I got a random text last night. It was so weird. And no one knows who he is. I thought Nick might have. Do you remember Rick Makovsky?
Yeah, I do. He worked at Mark's with us.
Rick worked at Mark's with us?
That's how I met him.
Like Packers fan, Rick.
Yeah. Worked at Mark's with us.
I did not know that he worked at Mark's.
That's why Nick don't know him. He's a Mark's guy.
Okay, so
Jimmy would know him.
He texted me last night and said, "Hey man, any luck this year? I just watched your video from last year. Sweet buck. As always, go pack go." And I'm like,
ironic.
This is the weirdest timing text, and it was funny because no one knew him. I looked around and Jay's like, "Are you fucking okay?"
That's why no one knows him, because he was a Mark's guy.
Okay, so that's
Spanny would know him. Jimmy would know him. That's it.
Okay.
By the way, shout out to Spanny, because he drew probably the heaviest, unintentional, loudest laughs for not being here when his Instagram post of his Halloween costume.
He dressed up as Willy Wonka, looking like
Ethan was crying laughing.
Did I miss it?
So Spanny, dude, nice job. Way to not give a fuck. We got a fantastic laugh.
Yeah, I think
he looked amazing.
You missed it because it was in Snapchat, which you don't have right now.
No, it was on Instagram.
But no. So there was a conversation in the one Snapchat about it, and I remember Nick's comment was something along the lines of like, "He looks like that fuking aunt that always brings the shitty dish to Thanksgiving."
Dude.
Okay, I did miss it. It's in our...
Push it.
It is definitely like someone's lesbian
Zoom in on
aunt.
that one.
It is definitely someone's lesbian aunt.
Poor Spaniel hasn't been able to make very many of these buck parties at all this year because he's always doing shit like that, dressed up like Willy Wonka.
Hey man, it's a close second. That's amazing.
Well, it's funny because all Ethan's group me pictures, profile pictures, have always been Spaniel in some stupid costume, like Maui last year with the fat suit. Like,
touche, my friend.
So what's next? So I mean, Dylan's been struggling with the recurve.
Yeah, I'll let him.
Obviously, he'll be able to talk about.
I'll let
that,
Dylan tell his struggle story when he gets on. It's funny. Jay texted me when I was down in deer camp. It was a text just between ourselves, not a group or anything. He said something like, "Dude, like it was right after he killed his buck. Like, dude, I'm just fucking pumped about this year. Like, Ethan's killing, Isaac's killing. I can feel Freeman killing soon. Nick's gonna kill, and then ironically, like an hour later, or a couple hours later, you ended up killing. So like, all the boys are having good encounters, except for Ethan.
Well, and ironically, I mean, Jay's kind of like an outlier to when I generalize about the big buck killers around, because you haven't been hunting whitetail, right? I mean, you went to Iowa, obviously, shot an unimpressive deer out there, which So.
I love it so much. You just unimpressive.
Nick and Dylan are
story of my life,
quote unquote big buck killers, and they still have tags, so that's a good thing.
Well, it's funny.
Right?
It's not funny. It's interesting. You used to be able to, and I gotta word this properly so I don't catch a lot of shit for it. But throughout history of us having the deer shop and all of us hanging out and being friends since high school and everything, every year growing up and all this, it was always Dylan's going to kill a monster of some kind. He's killed so many big bucks, and Nick always ends up killing the deer that he wants to. Usually, if he doesn't kill a deer he wants to, he has some good encounters, and he passes a lot of deer that most of us would kill. Nick's famous for that. He's passing deer that a lot of us would kill. And it's a interesting thing that over the last couple of years, everyone's just throwing these bucks down, and like, not that we have evened the gap or leveled the playing field, but the gap is closed a little bit. Like, everyone's killing deer now. So like, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's not just,
but it's not so as a bit of an outlier,
right,
with your guys not having the historical relationship, right? It's not surprising to me in when you look at it from like a wrestling room perspective or a jiu-jitsu room, iron sharpens iron.
Right. Yes.
And you guys continue to talk and compare notes and learn from each other, and despite the challenges that this area gives, continue to be successful and put fucking bone on the ground. And at some point, and this is what it fucking kills me, because like one of my articles was men called it luck. Like you put in all this work, you put on all this prep, and then someone calls you lucky.
Yeah.
Well, at some point, it's not fucking luck.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
100%. Those guys have set the bar, and I'll include Kasich in there too a little bit. Like those guys have set the
8
bar
straight years?
every year, killing a good buck. Especially like if you look from like 2018, 2019 to 2023, that 5-year period. Kasich, Dylan, Nick killing 150 class bucks or bigger, good deer every year. They set a bar, and the deer that they were passing for a long time were all deer that we would shoot. But now the deer that they are passing are deer that we're starting to pass, as everyone evens up on that, I want to hang with the big dogs kind of mentality. And it's ironic that they're now, the last couple seasons, they've been going in later and later in the year without filling that tag. But I'm not worried about either one of them by any means, because I know they're going to get some stuff done. 100%.
Well, that's the
it's
point.
still- dude,
when the two
It's
guys
only November 2nd.
November
historically
2nd.
that are doing it still have their now. Obviously, we have, and I mean Isaac too. How many years in a row has he killed?
If you count the deer he killed last year being found in the swamp in March, it'd be 4 straight.
4 or 5 straight. Okay. And and Ethan's putting in as much work as anybody trying to
Ethan's
hunt
putting
a
in
ghost right now.
unlimited work.
So things are really fucking good.
Yeah.
Sorry to the comment guy.
Yeah.
So
Anything else, guys? I think it's a perfect time
good
to
stuff,
wrap.
man.
That was
Yeah,
a
I
very
agree.
good. I very much enjoyed that.
Thanks for having me,
podcast.
man. As always, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
yeah.
Did I let you
great
guys
time.
talk enough?
Yeah. I feel like I got my fix. I'm just gonna drink another bush apple and
Yeah.
after.
Let-
we got
listen,
football.
I got to
We got
build a
football in
parlay.
45.
I
and
gotta,
get
I gotta
home.
win this fantasy weekend, dude.
I actually got to get home and feed my daughter, build a parlay, and then turn on the game. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Deer Shot Podcast 117. Buck
Cheers.
Wild Buck Party. We're out.